Mastering Amazon success, focus on fundamentals, not hacks. Robert Prime highlights that success on Amazon comes from consistent execution of fundamentals rather than chasing shortcuts or hacks. Top performing sellers focus on inventory management, detailed listing optimization, quality product sourcing, and daily monitoring of PPC and conversions. He points out common mistakes like neglecting underperforming listings and failing to optimize all products, which lead to missed opportunities. Prime emphasizes that patience, data analysis, and marginal improvements are the real key to long-term Amazon success. So not really news necessarily, but I wanted to throw this in there just to try to discourage a little bit from chasing the hacks. And with Amazon nowadays, especially, you really got to focus on growing a real business and building a real consistent business and doing the hard work.
Yep. Yeah. And the fact that, and I think it's good to discuss things like this, but the fact that we even have to discuss this in general is kind of a joke, right? Because basically what this guy's saying is, hey, run a legitimate business, market correctly, source good products, provide good customer, like just do things that a normal, good, legitimate business would do, and you'll be good.
People don't. People don't.
Right. And that's the sad part. And people don't, especially on Amazon. As we know, Amazon sellers are notorious for being small time, fly by night, totally unsophisticated, trying to get rich quick. So it matters a lot more in our context, because you don't really see, like, for example, we're obviously all in the retail business. You don't see many brick and mortar retail businesses, even mom and pop shops, open up with terrible products and, horrible marketing and terrible customer service and all this stuff.
Right.
They're more serious because there's a higher barrier to entry. I think it's the low barrier to entry that Amazon sellers face and getting started on the platform that attracts a lot of people that are clueless, which necessitates posts like this one.
Yeah.
Right.
So I've been saying this for years myself. Is number one, two things I've been saying for quite some time. One is you've got to have your fundamentals in. That is the platform. That is your basement, the base on which your entire business will be built upon. And if you're building on sand, like what's the
build the house on sand and it washes away, build it on rock and you're fine, like something like that.
So there's a movie, Corey, I hate to say this, but you might be too young, but it's called The Life of Brian. And in that,
I'm not familiar.
No, it's all right. But you should watch it. It's a good documentary. It's not a documentary, actually. But basically there's a joke in there like, I built a castle and that one sank into the swamp. So I built another one and that one burned down, fell down, then sank into the swamp. And I built another one, but that one stayed up. It's like if you build your foundation correctly, you have a very strong base from which to build up from, right?
Yep.
So that's number one. Number two is the fact that I genuinely feel, and I fully include myself in this, that Amazon sellers are infants, babies, when it comes to like business practices as a whole, right?
Completely agree. Yep.
So, what a general Amazon seller will do is go, oh, if I buy this product, I can sell it over here and make $5. And if I do 500 of those a day, cool, I'm good, right? But they don't understand the principles of marketing, the principles of branding, good imagery, proper, like, do you put the features on the bullet points, or do you put these things that your product solves on the bullet points, right? Mm-hmm. How do you communicate to the person that's looking at your product within 2-3 seconds that is going to solve their problem, right? If your problem is stress, right? Do you put a happy person or do you put a super stressed out person to make their eyeballs stop and go, oh, that's me, right? So, and that's just marketing. And that's just, Kevin King just did a whole thing on the psychology of marketing. And, but again, we are babies when it comes to business. So if you can become an Amazon seller, and you can continue to learn And I would say probably the next logical thing would be to launch a Shopify store, right? If you're going to build a real business. And there's been a lot of Amazon sellers that launched a Shopify store and failed, and they went, what the heck? Nobody went to my website and bought my product.
Right. We're so spoiled being on Amazon.
Yeah. You have to learn about funnels. And actually that's one of the things that I want to help resolve in our space is get people to become better business and brand builders. And I won't get into any of the details of that, but I'm working on something where I'm going to bring a system in place where they can manage their customers, their marketing, their website, their all that stuff, just help them do that, because I think it needs to happen. Like, today's the day. This 2025 is the year where we have to become more sophisticated business people. Otherwise, Amazon's going to push us out and we're going to just fail and have to go and move on to something else in life.
Yep. And that's part of what they're getting to, right? They want us to be professional. They're not doing it in the best way all the time. But everything they do is to try to lift up the professionals and push down the ones that are not, unless you're from China, I guess. That exactly as we talked about. But yeah, I mean, we can end it here, but it's just, you got to focus on the basics. It doesn't mean don't look at the hacks, because sometimes those hacks end up becoming the norm in the future.
Right.
But don't chase them. Focus on the basics, the fundamentals, build your business. Yeah, learn about the hacks, try them out, see if they work. But you got to focus on the basics and keep growing a business.